And 5-05, the sum and difference formulas. So what these are is if you're adding or subtracting two angles. So sine of u plus v equals sine of u cosine v plus cosine u sine v. So it's an identity. So these are just more identities. Sine of u minus v is the same thing but with a minus. Sine of u cosine v minus cosine u sine v. Also have them for cosine. Cosine of u plus v is cosine u, cosine v, minus sine u, sine v. And cosine of u minus v, cosine u, cosine v, plus sine u, sine v. And for tangent, tangent of u plus v is tangent of u plus tangent of v, divided by 1 minus tangent u, tangent v. And if it's subtracting, you just change the signs. So let's use a sum or distance formula to find the exact value of tangent of 255. 255, sorry. But do notice that 255 is the same thing as 225 plus 30. So I could make this the tangent of 225 degrees plus 30 degrees. So that would be a sum formula. The sum formula is tangent of u plus v is the tangent of u plus the tangent of v over 1 minus tangent u tangent v. All right, so u is the 225, v is the 30. So it'll be tangent of 225 plus the tangent of 30, all divided by 1 minus the tangent of 225 times the tangent of 30. All right, so unit circle time. Tangent of 225. So 225 is right there. And that is 1. A negative square root of 2 over 2 over negative square root of 2 over 2. So it's 1. And then tangent of 30 is square root of 3 over 3. Tangent of 225 is 1. Tangent of 30 is square root of 3 over 3. All right, I need a common denominator. That would be 3 over 3 on the top. So it'll be 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3. Same thing on the bottom. I'd have 3 minus square root of 3 over 3. Divide fractions by multiplying by the reciprocal. The 3's will cancel, and I have that. But I can't have a square root in the bottom, so I'm going to have to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the bottom. So that's 9. 3 square root of 3 and 3 square root of 3 is 6 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. The bottom I have 9. 3 square root of 3 and negative 3 square root of 3 cancel, and minus 3. So on the top I have 12 plus 6 square root of 3. On the bottom I have 6. The 12 over 6 reduces to make 2. The 6 over 6 reduces to make 1. So it's 2 plus the square root of 3. Let's find the exact value of cosine of 95, cosine of 35, sine of 95, sine of 35. All right, so this looks a lot like cosine of u, cosine of v, plus sine of u, sine of v. And that was cosine of u minus v, where u is 95 and v is 35. So that would be cosine of 95 minus 35, which is 60. All right, so what's cosine of 60? 60 degrees on the unit circle is here. The x value there is 1/2. All right, derive a reduction formula for sine of that. So in other words, we're going to take this and see what we can do with it. Since it's a plus, we can say sine of t plus pi over 2 is. And so that's a sum formula for sine. So it's sine of u cosine of v plus cosine of u sine of v, where u is t and v is pi over 2. Okay, but wait, what is cosine of pi over 2? Well, on the unit circle, pi over 2 is on the top. That point is 0, 1. Cosine is the x, so that would be 0. Sine of pi over 2 is y, so that's the 1. All right, so that's 0, and we have cosine of t times 1. So it appears to be cosine of t. Let's try another type of problem. Oh, look, solving equations. I told you yesterday that you would have this, review the solving equations all along. All right, so just to remind ourselves, cosine of u minus v, which is the first thing, is cosine u cosine v plus sine u sine v. And cosine of u plus v is cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v, where u is x and v is pi over 3. So for the first one, it's cosine u cosine v plus sine u sine v plus, and now it's the second one, cosine u cosine v minus sine u sine v. So this was u and v. All right, so now we have to figure out what's cosine of pi over 3 and sine of pi over 3. So on our unit circle, pi over 3 is here. That point is 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. So cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. Sine of pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. Sine of pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. Well, this sine square root of 3 over 2 minus sine times square root of 3 over 2 cancel out. And it looks like I just have half of a cosine plus half of a cosine, which equals 1 cosine. we're seriously missing something here. This should equal 1. So my problem's lacking what it equals. Can't solve an equation if it doesn't equal anything. So if it equals 1, we have to decide where does cosine equal 1. Cosine is the x. 1 is right there. That's at 0. So x equals 0.